Hey guys, I'm here with Jeremy Anderson from RVNT. Hello, Jeremy. How's it
Hello.
going?
Doing pretty well. How are you?
So, can you tell us why you're on the interview with us today? You wanna?
Um, Pretty much to talk about the band. I guess kind of like what I do in the background. I kind of try to do as much as I can for the scene. I work at Canal doing sound. I record bands in the area, and sometimes record my own band too.
Cool. So, we're doing a podcast for A Man's Forgotten. I'm Taylor Moody, and I'm a co-host with The Man Forgotten. Aaron couldn't be here today, so we are having me fill in. It's my first interview, and we are going to have an interview for 30 minutes. And I have a couple of questions I want to ask you, and I want you to come up with the best answers possible. Well, the best answers you want to come up with, in your opinion, to make you, seem like a real person, because you are a real person. You have mental
No,
health. You have
I'm an NPC. No, I'm kidding.
so you have, mental health. That's important because you are a person. Yeah, you have all these jobs, but you need to, this needs to be good too. So
Thanks.
let's go ahead and start with how long have you been doing your production for RVNT and any bands you've worked with?
So for Revenant, I've been doing it since 2016.
Okay.
In general, I've been recording bands since 2011, I believe, actually.
Cool. And when you're in the studio with the production, what exactly do you do with the production?
Everything.
Okay.
So basically for Revenant especially, I'm not even an original member. So when I joined the band, we were kind of like we were only sitting on one EP at the time, and so I had a bunch of songs that I had written from like previous bands and stuff like that. So like I basically been kind of collecting parts of songs that never got released and trying to piece them together. But I basically write every instrument for all the demos at first. Not so much lyrics unless it's asked for. But yeah, I pretty much do all of it. And then Fabian comes in after and like writes his own drum parts, and then Ricky writes the lyrics, and then we track vocals from there.
Sounds good. How long does it normally take for you to write and get the studio production taken care of?
It really depends. So, for instance, the first song that I actually ever recorded and released through Revenant, Home, that was an oddball one. So I wrote the entire song instrumentally in about 3 hours. That was a weird one. I don't know. It just happened. That doesn't happen often. But in general, I would say like if we're like writing a song starting like from start to finish, if Ricky's there with me, we can literally knock out an entire song in one session.
Okay, cool. That sounds really good. I'm glad that you guys have like this understanding. You guys are willing to work together and come together. When did you join the band?
I joined the band actually in 2016.
2016.
The band started in 2014 though.
Okay. And how is it at the Canal Club when you guys perform and when you actually do sound for the Canal Club?
Canal Club's kind of like always been our home. We've been playing there for a very long time, so it's really nice. They treat us with a lot of respect. They always try to look out for us. Like Adam was doing sound for us at the last show. He's the one who taught me pretty much everything I know about live sound, and yeah, he's really cool, and he's been killing it with us. Every time I play Canal, we always can guarantee we have a good sound.
Sounds good.
In terms of doing sound, like it's definitely a different world. Honestly, never expected to really be doing it. But now it's like, honestly, I'm starting to prefer it more than studio stuff because one, like it's more fast paced and you never know what you're going to get. Scenarios, like I love troubleshooting and stuff. So like when scenarios, like for instance, last night happened, we figured it out. And I don't know, it's just a lot more fun and it pays more faster.
I can see that. And for what other bands have you performed with, and which ones would you perform with again?
Being like playing like as on the same bill or like actually in the band?
In the band or on the same bill? Let's get those
in
questions
the band,
going. Yeah.
I've actually played with, so my first band was called Beyond the Victory. Pretty much formed out of like all of my high school friends and shit. And then I filled in for Having Keepsake on drums for a little bit. And then I also played bass for them for a few shows. Filled in for Vilified a couple times too, actually. And then also, I think that's about it, actually. Yeah. For the most part.
Okay, so how many bands have you been in total?
Like three?
I
guess four, because one is in the works and the secret, and yeah, it's completely different. But yeah, that'll be coming hopefully in the near future.
So with you, are you like, have you played multiple instruments your entire life? Was there an instrument that you preferred over all the other ones?
For the longest time, all I really did was play guitar. I was a marching band kid, so I kind of had like a percussion background. So that really kind of helped a lot with like writing drums and stuff like that. But for the most part, I've been mainly focusing on guitar since high school. And then vocals have been kind of a thing that I've been working on kind of like since I started doing like playing in metal bands and stuff like that.
So do you, does everyone come together to write the vocals and instruments first, or does everyone, come together eventually and just do it all in one sitting?
It's gonna be real. It's usually just me. Or so I do the primarily all the songwriting, and then Fabian has written a couple of our songs. But pretty much it's just me lay the whole thing out, demo it out with Ricky, and then I have Fabian. I send him the song without drums so he can write his own drum parts to him. But other than that, it's pretty much just me and Ricky actually doing the tracking.
All right. Well, so you also you came into the band a little bit later. Did Richard as well come into the band a little bit later?
He's actually brand new. We literally just announced him finally being in the band like pretty much last week.
And how would you say the chemistry is with everybody?
Chemistry right now is really awesome because like although we give each other shit because we always do.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of how we all work together on stage and just how we are on tour, I feel like it's the most stable lineup we've ever had.
Okay, cool. So I noticed that you've also done sound for, the Canal Club, but I also see you've done sound for I Set to Kill with their tour. How did that go?
That was so random. So one artist, so I just started doing live sound back in July, like period. So the way this happened was I got hit up our manager. We have this management I Set to Kill. And they're asking like, hey, if they can't find a sound guy for this tour coming up, would you like to do it? And I was like, what? Because I was like, I'd never even thought about the idea of touring already or doing anything like that. Yeah. So I said yes. So I was kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. And then like it was pretty much 10 days before the tour. So I never met them, never talked to them or anything before. So it was really random. They flew me out all the way to Arizona. Yeah. We didn't have a chance to do any rehearsals, unfortunately, but pretty much just got thrown right into it. First show was in California. It was a lot of fun. It was very nerve-wracking at first because I did not know what to expect, because usually as a sound person, you would have your own like console.
Yeah.
I didn't. So I was basically hoping that every venue we went to had a console I'm familiar with, or I was going to be fucked. Luckily, I only had two situations where it was a console I wasn't familiar with. But luckily, the people that I worked with at that venue, like for instance, Black Sheep in Colorado, it was with this guy named Brandon Poe, who is a front of house sound guy for Avoid, actually. So he helped me out. Really cool dude. And yeah, he actually gave me his scene for that board. So if I ran into another board, I would be prepared. And sure enough, the next day it was literally the same board.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. I really appreciate him. And he's looked out for me. And definitely when Avoid finally came here, definitely gave him a warm welcome. And because Adam, actually, the main sound guy at Canal, he's like a fucking diehard Avoid fan. So that was really cool to have.
That sounds really cool. And with doing all this connections, do you feel like networking works in this industry?
It's the only way to work in this industry, honestly. And I would say being humble and being a personable person, it will take you so much further than just being able to have a resume and just being able to like, I did this. Like, nah, people want to work with people they can get along with because it's nice to have someone who can do their job, but it's also another thing to be able to deal with them on a day-to-day basis.
Yes. And with like these interviews, like we're trying to make you personable, you know, we're trying to expand your, you know, popularity. We're trying to expand this popularity, you know, we're all need to work together and come as a community. And I think humbling yourself and being nice with everyone and having an open mind helps too. Because I mean, there's a lot of hate in the world and, you know, we all just need to come together and like really like sit down and be like, hey, maybe we need to be nicer to people, you know, especially in the metal scene. I've noticed it's more, you know, a little bit more angrier. But, you know, like we all, you know, we're all people, you know, not every metalhead is a mean person. And we're trying to.
Exactly. In fact, some of the metalheads are some of the nicer people on the planet.
Exactly. That's what I try to tell people. It's like, I mean, yeah, we look scary, but I mean, like, we're great people. We want to see the world do good. And like, I feel like you working with all these bands, you're trying to reach out with your helping hand and trying to build your own community. And that's what A Man Forgotten is basically about. You know, there's artists from all over the place coming into this podcast and we're not even asking for anything. Just be here, listen us out. Let me get you in the video and see how you do. And more people will follow you. That's all we really need to do.
So I think that's really cool. Yeah. It's really cool to see that happening.
Yeah, I think once you know, we get more, you know, different types of genres too in here, I think that the genres will spread out a little bit because we're not just for metal, you know, we're also for like the other local artists and in the scene trying to, you know, break it out. With saying all that, what do you recommend for these bands trying to get out there?
The biggest thing I'll say that will help is invest in good gear immediately. And then the second step after that is just network and reach out to people, but don't be overbearing in the process.
Yes.
It's definitely important to try to get yourself out there, but like sometimes you can overdo it and then you can kind of burn a bridge before you even get a chance to make a connection.
That sounds about right. And speaking with that, with networking, what would you say is your favorite venue going to and performing?
Okay, so networking wise, so this is weird. So we actually didn't play this, but we got to go to So What this year for the first time because of the Attack run.
Yeah.
And I would say just going there, I got to network and talk to more people that I've looked up to or that are just have been doing the thing for so long, like more than any other place I've ever gone to. And I would say if anyone ever has a chance to go to that festival, that is the best place to meet people because everyone's down to like network.
And was speaking with Attack, how was that tour?
Tour was
Go ahead.
That was really cool. That was a lot of fun. So like one, I was nervous because we're playing with a band that we've been listening to for like 12 years. So it's just kind of really surreal to like being able to tour with them and just be around them a lot. And luckily they're super, super sweet people, very supportive. And then the other band Colorblind, which is actually signed to Oxide Records, which is Attack's label. They were really cool too. So I'm just glad that it was like a true bro down and getting to like, you know, fucking hear Stick Sickly every night. And then also getting to mix it for 2 nights.
Yes.
Game changer. That was really
great.
Cool. It was really cool.
And was speaking with joining a label, do you plan on joining a label soon with the band or is it something independent?
Well, we've kind of been like back and forth with that. So we have been on labels in the past. Well, mainly one label, We Are Triumphant. And then we released our Hell Follows Me through Peoria Records, which is just a one-off, but we're not technically signed to them.
Yeah.
The idea of a label is really cool if they have the same vision and have the same goals as you, but if they don't, and it's just more of like a just for a look thing, it's probably going to fuck you over in the end because they're not actually making any money. Yeah.
And I mean, you shouldn't trust people blindly, but you should also be open-minded to the opportunities that come your way too. And a lot of people, I feel like in this industry are picky and choosy who they want to work with based on like other people's experience. And I believe that we should all open our arms and, you know, not really doors, but open our arms to like new people trying to get out too, like help some of the new people like understand it, maybe educate them a little bit better in this, because like I said, we're trying to build a community. And, there's going to be new people coming in, and they're going to want, what you have. And you just got to, take them under the wing and like, be like, this is what I had to do. And like, hopefully, hard work and what I did helps you out. And like with the podcast, like we're going to see who you really are, and it's going to help out other bands. And I think that's a really good opportunity.
Close the door, hurry up. Sorry.
I feel like that's a great opportunity, and like you have all this experience. So like with that experience, there's a lot, that a lot of people don't know, people also probably don't know that you also, you've done a little bit of work with Seasons, who are also local in the scene.
Yeah. Those are homies. So yeah, like working with bands like that. I mean, my biggest thing is like the reason why I charge what I do, because I honestly could charge far more for recording.
Yeah.
The idea is to really make it to where it's affordable for people. And on top of that, like I don't know. I want the scene to come up. I want to be able to help out and be able to get people to understand what is necessary to really make it, and make also people understand that it's not impossible to make it in this industry. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of effort.
Yeah, and like hard work. Like it's not just something you can just sleep and do and wake up, and like, hey, I'm here. It takes practice, and a lot of people are just like, let me be on top, and I'm like, you gotta, take time. And what do you recommend?
You gotta earn it.
Yeah, what do you recommend? Like, how they would get through this a little bit easier?
The way to break through, honestly, nowadays, as much as I hate it, like platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels are honestly the quickest way to get to where you want. But if you want your like what you're doing to actually last, what really matters is reaching out to everyone you can and making a good like name for yourself just as a person before a musician.
Yes.
If you do that, like regardless, like honestly, it gives you more of a chance, because even if your music isn't that good, at least people like you.
Yes, I totally agree. And like I feel like going out and talking to people, like you said, networking works. You just got to go out and talk to people. Even if you don't think people might listen to you or like your business, it's still good to even just get your name out and take the risk. And like being with who you are, you've done so much, like you've taken a bunch of risk, and that like shows in the long run how you work and how well you are with working with all these bands, and how like bands should work with you. If you were your dream job for the bands, where do you think you guys are going to be with in the next like couple years from now?
I would say in the next couple of years, hopefully at a point where we don't have to really worry about like doing anything else to make money besides the band itself or whatever jobs we do within the industry. Because a lot of us right now are in a position where we're trying to find jobs within the industry to be working. So like, for instance, Ricky, he's really trying hard to find driving jobs. So like be driving for bands and stuff like that. And I'm trying to do like front of house and touring like that, because one, not only will you network really well, but you make a lot of fucking money in the process. The amount of money you can make in the industry, like by just working like that, is ridiculous. Like you more so than most jobs will ever pay you, because it's entertainment pays. It really does if you get to that level.
Yeah, it matters. Like, and it gives you experience to see what the jobs are behind the scenes too. You're a band, but there are people doing everything else for you, like on the side. Those people are very important, and we need more people like that. We need more people with the experience that you have, and like, and the mindset, like being able to work with so many bands really well is a good thing, because like I said, community, like you have a bunch of your friends, you make friends doing that. You can jump and help somebody out. Like, you have the opportunity to provide that help for other bands, and it's something worth talking about. And getting you out there is important too, because there might be other bands in other states that might be like, I saw you at this tour, like, let me get your information and let me like talk to you as a person.
That's what I do. All right, that's the biggest thing. Anytime you meet someone that's really cool, that's willing to talk to you and give you advice, get their Instagram, follow them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, that alone has been a game changer. I've gotten opportunities simply just by doing that, because I wanted to keep up with these people. And sometimes they see your story and see that it's something that's relevant to you now. So like, it's something that can all become full circle eventually, if you really just just do that small bit of networking.
Yeah. And like I said, community, like we're not, you're not, you are in a competition to see, how far you can get, there's 5 other bands that are trying to do the same thing, but it's really good to be able to work with them too.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
like, that's
super
the main,
important.
yes.
When you make it only a competition, it takes the passion away. It makes it a negative thing that should be something that should be positive. And that's why, like no matter what, at the end of the day, I want all my friends to succeed. And if there's any way I can help them do it, I will absolutely try.
Yeah.
And I mean, unfortunately, some situations didn't work out that way, and it happens. Like, there's no way you can please everyone, and that's just something that I'm trying to like work on accepting. But at the end of the day, like, as long as I'm trying to help people and people understand my intention, like, that's what really matters.
Yeah, I see it based on your experience. And what is your favorite part of doing what you do?
I just love writing good ass music and like making or like taking ideas that people have and expanding on them to make it more of what they want, just to really kind of take that and just it's really an inspiration thing. It's like I love making people happy with music.
That's good. And did you like go to school for any of the stuff, or was this all self-taught?
All right, so I have a story. Full Sail University, the biggest waste of time ever.
Yeah.
So like when I did Full Sail, I did it for about a year. I had already been recording like for, I would say, probably like a year and a half by then. I didn't learn anything that was actually useful whatsoever from that school. So pretty much everything that I have done since then has been self-taught. I will give a lot of credit to Unstoppable Recording Machine, which is like a program started by Joey Sturgis, which is the producer who's done like Asking Alexandria, Attack, all those bands. It's like pretty much an audio course that goes through so many details from literally the basics of mixing all the way to networking. So it covers pretty much everything you'll ever really need to kind of make it in the industry as a producer. And that has helped me more than anything. And that's simply $40 a month versus college tuition. Game changer.
This is true. I actually didn't go to college at all. I just worked my way up through like retail and customer service. And like, that's what I got. I worked in the pharmacy. So basically everything that I did, I learned how to, on-job training. And that's how life is, it's better that way. That's how you learn. It's just, instead of just looking at a book all day, and getting tests for it, like go out there and experience life. And that's basically what you are doing. And it works out. Yeah. Just experience it and just going with the flow and really just being there, for the positivity. Like you are preaching positivity by getting up and working really hard, and other people should follow you. And I think that's a great opportunity for you to, talk about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like people need to understand that if it's something that you truly want, you can do it. You just have to do it, put in the work, and just do it. Like fucking Nike, just do it. Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Just get out there and do it. Like I've never really done a lot of podcasting myself. I just like, just jumping right into it and talking to you. And I think it's been a great opportunity. I mean, you're great to talk with. Yeah, we are getting a little close to the time where it ends. So was there anything else you wanted to go over before we cut it?
We're dropping a new song next month with that live music video we shot back in April.
Okay.
But other than that, I would say the biggest thing is if anyone has any questions about how to start doing anything in this industry, I'm an open book. A lot of my friends are open book. So just hit me up, and I'm definitely down to help out if I can.
And what's your tags? If you want to put your tags in, tell everyone who you are, band's tags and stuff like that.
I guess so. At Jeremy Revenant or just RVNT band, which will be Jeremy RVNT as well.
Okay.
And then my studio name, which I'm horrible about updating the page, is Rumble Room Studios. And also another big thing I wanted to mention is a shout out to Unsafe Unsound. They are hands down the biggest reason why I've actually made money from my production. Okay. They are absolute homies. I love Tyler and Ricky. They are awesome people. Mm-hmm. Their cover of What Hurts the Most has a ridiculous amount of plays. Like we did that back in February.
Yeah.
And ended up simply in 1 month it hit over 1 million streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
So like that just truly shows the power of TikTok. Use
Yes.
your social networking to your advantage. It's totally possible to do crazy things. Like literally, all right, this is completely unrelated, but I just put a reel up
Okay.
of Richard, who's here right now. He shot me in the back of the head with a gun, and I threw my phone at him because I was like hyper focusing. And I posted on there, no bullshit. That reel hit over 6,000
Oh,
plays
geez.
in an hour and a half. But none of my music does. Just bullshit. But
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But hey, the funny shit can lead to the opportunities anyways. Because I mean, they did like Unsafe on Sound did like a really funny video of like they're dressed up in like a cat, like pretty much like Western outfits for their little TikTok, and that's what blew it up. So like, use comedy to your advantage when it comes to this. I know music's all serious, but you can definitely use comedy to kind of like help with that.
Yes, and you seem more personal. I mean, jokes aside, I mean, you're here with me, absolutely. And like you're telling me, you know, you're being personal, and that's what we want to see. You know, you're not just a band, you are a person, and everyone needs to remember that you also have mental health, like everyone in this world, and we should, you know, respect that too. And it was a pleasure interviewing you, Jeremy.
Yeah,
you're with the band Forgotten. You got Jeremy Anderson from RVNT. Check out his follows, and you know, follow him, go to his shows, and reach out to him.
Appreciate it. It was awesome talking.
Yep. All right.